We know when we look at the one series that KT did win against Gen G, it was a lot off of Cuz and BDD having these heroic performances, and being able to be enabled just feels so critical. Just because he's been looked at, maybe not at every given moment, but many moments for many years now as the best mid laner in the world. And now they're looking mid.
Cuz looking to gank that best mid laner in the world. Chovy flashes immediately into the flag and drag. Knocked back with a seismic shove. But his rocks become his tombstone. KT on the board for first blood.
And when you want to talk about pressure, flashing in line with the flag and drag there, I think he was maybe trying to flash over it. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to figure out what is your role within this team, right?
Yep.
When you take players who are like the focus on a different roster and you put them all together and you build with more and more and more stars, not everyone can be the star.
One of these grubs. KT pushed in the top side. Ruler's going to answer that. Canyon looking for the flank from the bottom side. Bolt breaker onto BDD. Lands the knock-up. Fate sealed out from BDD across the wall, using that ultimate just for a little bit of extra distance between him and Gen G. Chovy coming in. BDD will dash out of the back of the pit. And KT will escape with only one of the grubs. Great smite from Canyon to secure the one that was contested, and Gen G will get their second.
Honestly, really well played by Canyon to navigate that situation. BDD had prow through mid, but Canyon just kind of set up shop, waited for him.
Valkyrie in if a fight starts sharpish. Meanwhile, the unstoppable onslaught coming out from Keen as he charges down here. The Drake falling lower, though, down to 2k. BDD jumping in just to distract. A quickness from Juro, a smite from Cuz. KT secure the Drake, and a great disengage as well, as Gen G are the ones retreating, unable to find purchase in the fight.
And KT says thank you very much. Duro in particular has been exceptional at this as they're...
And there it goes, straight onto Dogdam. Cease and desist living as the Caitlyn falls to Canyon. Gen G on the board in the semi-finals. Peter looking to see if there's anything he can do here, but it doesn't really feel like KT want to contest right now. The cease and desist from Gen G, they want the fight on their terms, and they kill off the Nico immediately. Nothing that KT can do to collapse.
I mean, Peter was just way too far ahead of the rest of the team, right? No one's even around him when they do engage on him.
I want to highlight as well the fact, the ability for KT to find these angles as BDD.
Weavers will fate sealed again from BDD before the neutral. Gen G collapsed onto him. Did have to use that Weaver's wall, and now the question is, for KT, do you hit?
Oh, Peter lost flash.
Do you go for the fight? Peter, no flash, as you say. That Nico, half of a champ if he can't get onto the backline, still looking for the engage. Meanwhile, the cease and desist into the quickness combo. A double charm comes out from Duro, and Gen G just rip the hearts out of KT.
And that play from Duro, the man that at the beginning of the year was the weak spot for Gen G, sets up on both sides of the fight. First gets the charm, allows them to engage on the jungler.
From Gen G, showing their class around the objectives. And just like that, not only is the advantage gone, you're now 2k behind.
Because every single member that you might send forward will just get blown
gonna
up.
get spotted potentially here. He's still in that brush.
They don't know.
Walks into the bush. There's Juro, gets the quickness off. Weaver's wall out, and the charm follows up. KT, though, still alive. Peter yet to fall. Cards going in with the flag and drag. Fate sealed. Flash away from Canyon. He dashes out with a bolt breaker. Gen G now on the back foot. The ace in the hole cancelled by the knock-up. A seismic shove onto Cuz. Keen the first to fall. Gen G on the back foot. KT still looking to find purchase in the fight.
It's still a big win for KT, though. We'll see if they can turn it into more. Might not want to run the risk with Canyon still alive, but Gen G overstep big time there. Picture. Otacon's going.
Otacon's already started by KT as Gen G look to take the fight. Canyon
Peter.
not here yet. Peter! Hot Blossom goes wide. And perhaps Gen G can look to turn this one around now as KT don't have that big engage tool. Gen G take their turn on the Otacon. Seismic shove just short of clipping onto perfect. Gen G still on that Otacon. Down to 3,000 HP. Cuz looking for the engagement. He's locked up. Decimating Smash doesn't catch him. In the flag and the dragon. Still forced away. Gen G will claim the Otacon.
Peter was literally seconds away from his flash, but because he doesn't have his available, Choby's able to flash out, and KT unable to take the Otacon and gonna lose the turret as well.
Yeah, and as soon as that ulti does not hit there from Peter, it's so tough now for KT to re-enter. Cuz wanted to stay around to see if he could find an opportunity to look for a steal.
That might be an angle, but Perfect doesn't have his flash. Stop was used in that topside play as well.
They go for Canyon. Jump on him immediately with the Bolt Breaker to get himself out. The tower falls in mid. KT not really defending that mid tower for now. As KT still look to start up this Drake, will be soul point for them. Chovy on the flank as he wraps around to join his team behind this Drake. Perfect with that equalizer. Weaver's wall. Perfect's on the wrong side of it, but can walk out towards the top side of his jungle. Drake down to 2,000 HP. Peter with the pop blossom! And a fight flowers for KT. BDD dives in. Gen.G are left routed as Ruler has nowhere to go. Flashes, but with an ace in the hole. One more bullet in Dogdam's shot. A cataclysm. The tomb for Ruler as KT clean up the fight.
Beautiful Yone ult coming across, gets them soul point, is going to get them multiple towers here. KT with a picture-perfect team fight.
And there is the dive that was able to get KT the win when they found that best of 5, the final game.
Out here with BDD and Dogdam, if they find that good engage, they have the power behind him to knock him down.
Gen.G know the BDD isn't here right now as Ruler. Valkyrie's in. Dogdam has to flash across the wall. Equalizer down as well. The Weaver's wall from Chovy puts him on the backline. A seismic jump. Gonna cut down Perfect. Cataclysm in as KT look for the fight, but they just lock Gen.G in. And they don't have the damage. Keen on that front line. Mortal Blade coming out from BDD for the knockup. Chovy flashing forward. Chucking the rocks into Dogdam, but he can't quite get the damage. BDD finds one. Dogdam walks away wounded. Cuz dives into the middle, but they don't have it. KT routed by Gen.G. BDD locked up with the slow from a decimating smash, and that axe will make him go timber. Keen picks up the final. It's a 4-for-1 for Gen.G.
And it's the snap engage from Gen.G that gets them back in the lead, as this should be setting up for the Baron. 25 seconds until the Drake, so the timing a little tense.
Around it, Gen.G forced them back. I totally agree with you. I think KT forcing this. Sometimes you need a moment just to let everything reset. They're still on soul point. Gen.G, it's only their second Drake.
Roller coaster right there.
Yep. That's what we kind of were expecting coming in. And thus far, you know, I think we're still a few ups and downs short of Zill.
You can see Chovy, though, has his Seekers now, you know, almost on that Zhonya's. Double IE has been completed, so a lot of power still there for KT. But Gen.G is just so crisp with these engages. And now that they have the run of the map, it's very difficult to surprise them.
Out here, Gen.G want to get a little bit more damage down, but I think they also know that this turret will hold on. The Chovy says no, and I grab that one as well.
Nice use of the Weaver's wall there from Chovy.
I just love how much protection there is for Ruler. You know, you see the ace in the hole coming through.
They just don't have an easy way to get it down as well. They don't have a tank to face check for the support to run behind, and they also don't have something like a Rakan. Decimating smash onto Cuz, caught out with that lack of vision. Keen with the roar of the Slayer finds his mark. BDD forced away towards the top side. Peter having to flash. Dogdam underneath the tower. Pop Blossom from Peter will distract the rest of Gen.G. Cannon's going to go into the Guardian Angel, but the Angel's on his shoulder might be enough. Fate sealed from BDD onto the backline. They'll look for Ruler. Keen flashes. Get down, Mr. Ruler, as he blocks the shot from the ace in the hole. Decimating smash again. Perfect looking for more. BDD going in with a Mortal Strike 3. Tries to get onto Ruler. The damage doesn't tick. Ruler still stands. A Keen will run for him. BDD finds another Ruler down. Just the mid lane is left alive. BDD versus Chovy. We've seen it so many times over the years.
Sit up here. We do see the stall in the picture.
We gotta go live. We gotta go live.
As they actually pulled it to try and get her as much time as possible. Canyon's on his way.
But he's all the way back in base right now. Ping's coming out on where he is. Cuz and BDD looking for the Drake. Duro doesn't have the smite from some of the spellbook. It's gonna be sold for KT. From 5k behind, they find their priceless moment. Done by Gen.G. KT looking to call the bluff. It's already down to 7k. BDD going forward. There's the Weaver's wall. Out from Chovy. Peter lands a double knocker, but he's on the wrong side of the wall. The equalizer down as well. Will chip away at Duro. Baron now resetting. Duro down to half HP. KT on the front foot, on the offensive. Chovy looking for a flick. Doesn't land it. It's a shape splitter anyway. That clone from Peter.
That is two big ultimates gone though. As both the Equalizer and the Pop Blossom not available, so BDD and his team definitely taking a risk. Canyon is behind him.
Duro looking for that redemption because he's still got the quickness. They'll dive onto Perfect and they lock him down. He dies in the River of Fate Seal. Onto the back line with the Cataclysm out as well. But Ruler still stands, taken out in the end by BDD, who's now making a swift retreat. Dogdam in the pit, caught out by Duro. The headshot. He loads another into the chamber, but he can't quite get the damage down. BDD looking for more as he sees his teammates fall. He can't find it. Gen.G somehow win out the fight.
And the Baron stayed least throughout all of that.
Insanity.
KT, one of the few downsides of that Yone is that ranged wave clear is tough. Same for the Rumble, so holding this off is tough.
Unstoppable onslaught in from King just to break that trap line, just to break this tower. Weaver's wall out. Perfect's going to be on the Gen G side of it, but he's down towards the bottom of it and will be able to escape their clutches. The inhibitor tower does fall. Top lane in here below as well. 50 seconds left on this Baron. A couple of waves for Gen G to play with.
Yeah, but it's KT holding on well. No inhibitors have fallen yet. They did lose the one tower, but only 40 seconds left on this Baron.
He goes in, and he tries to seal the fates of Chovy, but he pops a stopwatch. The Snapzap gets him. Cataclysm off the backline. Gen G have already lost their mid laner. A GA coming out for KT as they manage to back away. Gen G lose two. BDD wants to make it more, can't find it, but KT hold on. Teleport comes in for Chovy. KT put up a snap trap line to try and stop them. Peter has that Pop Blossom. They'll look for the Fate Seal. The Elder already down to 7,000. Shape Splitter out. Seismic Shard. Peter gets the Pop Blossom only onto Duro, but the Elder is secured, and now KT will look to turn the fight. Gen G immediately run for the hills. Keen flashes across the Fate Sealed from BDD, trying to take out Chovy. Duro falls on the back line as KT continue to collapse. Kaz dodges the Seismic Shot, but Chovy survives. The Elder doesn't quite tick him down. In the end, a 1-for-1, but KT secure the Elder Dragon.
Be taken down if you're Gen G than Duro, but they are going to keep pushing. The backs are going to have to come through, and mid lane is going to fall, but the wave clear for Gen G might be enough.
Okay, if we watch that, if we get this replay, you have to keep your eyes on the Seraph's cooldown.
For the next minute, but it's going to expire. We talked earlier about the side lane waves, the side lane towers still being up. KT have to do a slow march through this top side.
There's a 15-second period here where Gen G do not get to contest, and I imagine KT is going to full send it towards the Baron. Now it's KT that are the ones back in control of this game. There is still a good amount of vision though. Looking at the items, Canyon has GA.
Up towards where the Krugs are.
15
if Gen
seconds.
G want to look for it. 15 on the Elder. Baron now on the map again. Gen G trying to step up, trying to face up against KT. The snap trap down. No autos onto Keen. Perfect looking for a flank with that Pop Blossom. The Baron down, taken by KT. Will they still look for the fight, or will they switch away, decide to back away? That's what they do. They'll reset, they'll spend their gold, and once again they'll face Gen G on the rip.
Aggressively to try to close this game.
We're seeing there the possible TP ward put down by Duro. Note they can't hold on to the turret, but they can at least do that. Gold's going to be in favor of KT, but as we're saying, we're at full builds for most people here. The Mountain Soul is firmly in favor of KT, but the Petals 37-4 here for Gen G. Although the relative value of that experience not really gonna match up at this point.
He snaps back to his team, but not yet to reality, as KT are looking to take the first game of their first semi-final over the MSI champions. KT pushing in, Gen G struggling to find a defense right now.
And this all coming down to this. KT on the verge of taking the first game, but Gen G are not gonna fall over without a fight.
Keen still that meatball on the front line, but has to pop the ultimate to try and escape. Knocked up. Forced away the Nexus Towers. KT's target is Dogdam. Headshots one. The next one for Gen G, their last bastion of defense. The cannon minion still there, seismically shoved underneath the turret. The Baron expires in 40 seconds, and again KT just playing it slow, taking it patient, snapping back again. The Nexus Tower almost down. Canyon dives in, but Peter distracts the rest of Gen G. Canyon size a GA, but the rest of Gen G can't get to him. They've been equalized. The Guardian Angel down on Canyon, meanwhile BDD distracting. Generation Gaming. The Cataclysm in from Kaz will build the walls of Gen G's tomb. Gen G taken down by the might that is the KT Coaster.
Your frontline diving fairly deep, right? You know, if you have Kiana, flashing in for an ultimate, sometimes you can hit that piercing arrow over the top, or you follow up, with the Chains of Corruption. You can have a very high amount of burst.
I imagine in the 1v1, but yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a time waste for him. Could be looking towards BDD though.
Gonna run towards that middle lane. BDD needs to get the hell out of here. Chovy's on the chase. BDD flashes and face plants in the wall. Gen G claim first blood. The Rulers had, but again, it's another summoner that's been burnt by KT that Gen G haven't had to invest. Ruler was able to just walk across here. Kuz looking for the steal.
And it's kind of a flip situation. This time it's KT trying to get access to that dragon.
Duro on that front line. The hook lands onto Peter. Kuz gets the root down. Piercing arrow again onto Duro as he falls low. He has to flash away. The knockback onto Chovy. separates the fight. Drake secured by Genji, double flash of the root still onto Ruler. Dokdam looking to put the arrows into the back of his enemy man. The Realm War back as Peter's getting onto that backline, but Genji immediately turn and burn. But Canyon is the one who is aflame. Hero's entrance will not be a good exit for Chovy, as now he needs to escape the clutches of KT. They've already lost 2. Genji trying to get Ruler out of here as the chase down towards the bottom side. Chovy against Cuz has to burn the flash. Finds him still. KT come out on top.
A mistake early in game 2 when you're already down 1 is tough.
And on the other side, how hype are KT feeling, right? Coming into this, as we see Peter look for the engage onto Juro, we'll get the trample down, the hook's gonna land as Cuz dives in. Supreme display of talent, the Nautilus falls first, but meanwhile the Crescent Guard from Cannon keeps him alive. Peter gets the knock up and a knock back. Ruler gets the shutdown though, as 2 will fall. Genji bite back in the game.
The grubs off the back of this as well. Ruler in prime position to be able to carry now. 1K up this early.
And it shows how quickly these games can swing. Like, we were literally in the middle of talking about how KT had a really good early game, and now the gold basically even, 2 neutral objectives to 0 in favor of Genji. They get all 3 grubs.
One more wave, then probably look for the base, but I mean, Peter is chunked out. The base just now coming in from Perfect, so there's no way you can contest. Genji gonna be able to grab this one, no problem. And they are the ones now with 2 early dragons here. It's going to be an Ocean Soul up for grabs.
He's looking to cut Juro and Ruler off from an easy path up towards the river. Canyon realizes it, backs away from the Herald, which will reset its patience in a moment. Chovy TPing in. The hook's going to land, though, as they look for Peter. Flashes in, head up, Pulverize, Supreme display of talent as well, but only onto Chovy. The redemption comes out as Ruler. Arcane shifts forward. He wants part of this fight. Canyon with the Crescent Guard. Chain of Corruption will lock him up, and it missed times as they go in. Ruler able to pick up one. Another hook coming out from Juro. The depth charge on the back line into the taunt from Chovy. Genji rule the rift as KT can find nothing.
Genji showcasing their incredible team fighting here. That was just immaculate. Early force on the ult from Peter. They back off. They avoid Cuz on the re-engage. And then Ruler finds space on the side of the fight to go aggressive. Duro finds another hook. And Genji were just dancing around that fight perfectly.
And what goes up must come down.
Ahead of his opposite man, already on his going towards his 3rd item, as Dokdam only sits on 1. Perfect looking for the flank. The Drake begun, Hex flash forward. Canyon dives onto Peter. Rifthold has been summoned towards the top side as they go in for the fight, and we see KT able to secure the Drake, but Peter now needs to retreat. Perfect up towards the top side, trying to distract Canyon. Peter falling lower. Down comes the anchor and sends him into the depths. Genji find another. For KT, they got the Drake, and that's really all they wanted. Rifthold charges in. Perfect matches it. Should be able to kill it off. Duro with a good hook away, but BDD still on the chase. Depth charge! Arcane shift! Mystic shot from Ruler, but into the Supreme display of talent as KT turn it around. Canyon forced away as they chase forward onto him. Perfect finds another. KT turn around the fight.
See, if they just are going to start it, it looks like they will.
Double to B. A couple of wards in the back of the pit from Genji as they look to gain vision around it. Perfect looking for that flank, no wards where he is. Juro going in with the hook. Drake down to 6,000. Perfect still peeking his head out as they dive in. Canyon looking for the steal here, but it's Cuz that gets it. BDD forced to flash away. Here is Edges from Chovy in the pit. Keen diving forward. Ruler caught out by Perfect. Canyon falling lower as Cuz finds 2. KT winning the fight on the bottom side, but the top side is all in favor of Keen. Ruler almost going down. Chovy still on the chase. Dokdam trying to get away. Perfect and Peter trying to protect him. The flash away from Dokdam. The taunt short from Chovy. Chovy falls. Only the top laners left alive, and Perfect will burrow his way away.
KT, they're going back for the red buff to try to buy time, but that's been spotted. They're too late now, it feels like.
Cuz might look for the steal. Baron coming onto the rift, but Genji already secured the Articon. KT backing away. Cuz still looking for that supreme display of talent, a game changer. Having chunked out the enemy AD carry, can push for the tower.
Really well played there by Dokdam, just playing around vision around that corner. Gets Ruler so incredibly low, they're threatening.
Genji have to back away. The risk of getting knocked up there. The follow-up from Peter would have been enough. The problem for Genji is they don't really have vision around this area at all. They've got a single control ward, now a couple in that mid lane bush. Peter caught out with a hook once again as he has to flash away. Has the honey fruit to pop himself up as Ruler lands the damage across the wall. He couldn't see him! It was blind, and Ruler finds his man. KT now a man down, can't defend. The Drake secured, so point for Genji.
Yeah, the problem is they're just going to go to Baron, I think, here, and they're just going to force your hand. Peter getting caught back-to-back fights. This time he doesn't have the ulti. And BDD and Perfect were pretty late to the fight, so Gen G just walked through mid, they get the Dragon, they go to Soul Point, they take tier 1.
Out a bit of vision, Cuz hasn't been seen here. Gen G, the Baron down to 6.5k. Canyon and Ruler still on it. Cuz still looking for the steal. Perfect and BDD down towards the bottom side, distracting the rest of Gen G. Cuz can jump in. The Winds of War from Chovy. Duo knocked up. Redemption out. Canyon almost falling as Cuz dives into the pit. There's no jungler there. Canyon goes in, and he manages to land the smite. KT now on the back foot. Public execution from Keen, not quite connecting, and KT turn and burn. Peter's here for a little bit more. The hero's entrance won't be quick enough to save his support. Perfect diving onto that backline. Chovy falling lower. Keen forced away towards the top side. Chovy with a stopwatch. Dogdam can't land. The piercing arrow through that. Flash away, the Realm Warp gets KT out, but Gen G secure the Baron.
An overstep there towards the end, again looking for that blade to equalize it. As the Rebel Baron power play will be in favor of Gen G. Never gets old. Ruler doing an incredible amount of damage in that fight, and now Gen G, we've seen him in his position. Last time it was Kenyon going in too deep. They get a redo this time around.
BDD's pushing in the side lane. KT have already given up the ghost on this inhibitor and, well, at least the tower. Gen G can push for more. Chovy's pushing in mid for that tier 2. The inhibitor will go down on the bottom side as KT look to defend their mid tower. BDD does have the TP. Chovy's a little bit isolated here. Ruler arcane shifts across to make sure his Galio can walk to safety.
Hold off on most of this. Obviously the big issue is that upcoming possibility for a Soul mid lane turret also will fall as the rest of KT just looking to base and setting up for this upcoming fight.
And you always have to get concerned when it's going to come down to one of these objective fights about the vision, right? You look at Gen G, how they're playing in this space, taking that over, sweeping out wards. Yeah, the Baron's gone, but you know that KT had been locked up in their base for so long that they haven't been able to get out on the map and reclaim vision. And Peter has been getting picked a number of times, and it could be a repeat.
Flash hook, immediately they look for Cards, they'll take out the jungler. Ruler finds the kill, and now Peter tries to flash away, tries to get to safety. KT will shepherd him back into the base, but Gen G don't even need to turn towards that Drake yet. They can push for the tier 2 on the top side, they can push for the inhib tower on mid.
And Gen G not wanting to repeat their mistakes of game number 1.
That Keen set up that pick last game, like you're saying, but then it was Kenyon going too far. It was the fight getting turned around. This time, they basically get a redo how they are controlling vision. They're just moving in, clearing out all these wards. They're making the approach so difficult for KT.
And that's kind of a flex from Dogdam, right? Like being up.
Peter's going immediately. They dive into Chovy. They have the Chain of Corruption coming out as well. It's going to land the Taunt, the Crescent Guard out as well from Canyon. Chovy falling lower. Perfect's on the flank. Lands a double knockup. Chovy needs to get out, and he will. A public execution slays the cow. Roast beef for Keen as he finds 2. Dogdam will follow. Canyon dives back in. Flashes away. Still has the Angel to bring him back to life. And now Keen can advance, and Cuz can do nothing but flash and a try to get himself out. Keen will chase for days, though. Cuz forced down towards this blue side jungle. KT lose the fight. Gen G, do you stick or do you twist? It looks like Baron is their target. Hit the Mystic shot. Perfect here. The TP in for BDD. Another TP to follow it. As KT think perhaps we can take the fight after the big purple worm. Peter's here to join the fray, but Baron already for Gen G. KT now back away. The Realm Warp used. True shot barrage on Cuz. Almost takes him out. Away that slow. It was here that BDD managed to do it, but he doesn't have the same impetus to engage, doesn't have the same tools in his arsenal to get there. Inhib on the top side, taken by Gen G. Now KT will put all 5 players to defending this mid lane wave that Chovy is going to begin to bring in. Gen G, though, can still use the top side. Knock up onto Keen, he dashes away. The route onto Juro with the Rune Prison. Perfect falling lower. Forced away by Ruler. Will be able to heal up in that passive. True shot rush dodged by Cuz, but not by Peter. A public execution onto the backline. The knockback onto Keen immediately. The redemption coming out as well. Crescent Guard BDD trying to get onto Juro. Will find it. The taunt onto Cuz. Keen dashing in. Knocked back under the tower, but Ruler untouched. Canyon untouched. Chovy untouched. And Gen G marching down mid for the win.
And Ruler is calling for that. Pentine comes right now. Already picked up his double. KT, though, they're going to try and hold on. TP's going to come in. Baron buff still for another 10 seconds.
Reset coming out from Chovy. He's finished a neat death cap. The Rabadons for that extra bit of damage. The Nexus Tower's falling. Ruler and Chovy take the first. Keen trying to get this wave in for the second. Perfect. Dogdam and Peter needs to try and defend, but Peter's already back in the base, just healing up on that fountain. The Nexus Tower falling lower. Ruler with a true shot barrage can still arcane shift away from the oncoming Rek'Sai. The Nexus Tower will be taken. Keen behind them. KT trying to defend, but they just don't have the wallets. Gen G will answer the fight and go 1-1 in the series.
Gen G battling back here. KT kept the pressure on.
KT, I think, have an extremely well-rounded draft. It does, for me, stand or fall by how well the bot lane can do, because I think both mid and top are going to be very heavily shoved in.
Gen G pressure. And now Perfect knows he is the one on weak side. He's got to be careful because really the only thing that Canyon could potentially be doing is looking towards that top lane if he overextended.
Early objective stacking has been 100% predictor of who will win the game so far in this series.
Yeah, Dogtime has that, and they have first move here, so KT definitely want to contest.
Keen in the back of the pit, and just dash across. Volley from Dogtime, Grub's begun. KT with 5 Chovies on his way across. Juro stepping forward, flash shield of Daybreak finds the Sun, Grand Starfall coming out as well. Keeper's Verdict from Cuz, the Shockwave, Peter flashes it. Ruler caught out on the backline, pushed away with the Emperor's Divider now. KT can begin to advance. Keen trying to come in and reinforce his team. Duro shielded just in time, now Perfect stepping forward, has to flash away himself. And in the end, no one dies.
Really survives with the command protect there from Chovy. Really close fight, but it's the Grubs now. The second one going to be going the way of Gen G.
And it's Keen being knocked away there by Cuz that I think ended up making that a very even fight. Too good. Now starting to build towards that Chovy lead we all know and love. As
Emperor's Divide, he tries to flash away from it, he slammed it to the wall. Chovy take a pew.
Getting caught, he's getting taken down. Same thing happened in game 1, and now they're going to force the Dragon.
And KT are just going to get it. Gen G looking to catch someone as they walk out. And Charlie Crystal Arrow coming out once again, looking for Duro. Dogtime on the chase. Peter there with Glitter Lance slow. Flash away from Duro means he's not slammed against that wall.
And again, that's with BDD not having a splash.
Oh my god, he got solo killed.
Grand Starfall in from Canyon as he looks for the chase onto BDD, but BDD still has the flash, and he'll jump over the wall.
The years where you thought, surely this is the year that they're going to be able to win, has yet to make it to a final. BDD find him again.
Chovy. BDD takes a couple of towers, or takes 3. BDD just dies. Cuz will get 1 in response, but the shutdown gold over to Chovy.
Canyon doesn't have his ult, and KT has started this up. TP comes in.
Now looking for the fight here around the Herald. Counter TP being used as Perfect's going to join the fight. Keen in the back of the pit. Perfect's there, trying to act as that front line. Looking for the eye. The solar flare. Dogtime immediately cleanses away from it. Canyon dives in. A great step up and stops Duro from coming in. The TP first. It's going to be BDG joining the fight. Keen forced up towards the top side. Perfect's going to 1v1 him with the all out. Now the charge forward from KT. They find 3 as Gen G are left reeling.
These carries overstay.
And it's an elementary mistake from Gen G. It was just a teleport disadvantage. Chovy doesn't have TP, BDD does. And so, with an extra member, as BDD looking for mid, looking for bot, gets the charge, and KT builds a gigantic lead in this game number 3. In that fight, by the way, which we didn't even really get to talk about, just straight up 1v1 Keen.
Charlie Crystal Arrow going down, there's Keeper's Verdict as well. Ruler doesn't get the chance to move. Duro has to flash, takes the Chemtech Blast Cone to get himself to safety, but KT will take the blue. They'll steal the jungle.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes from Chovy as well. And I really am starting to feel the possibilities ramping up more and more for KT here.
Making so many mistakes, it's Dogon.
Grand Starfall onto Dogtime. Does have the flash, he's going to use it to get across the red pit, can't do it in time. Solar flare from Duro finds its mark. Chovy gets the shutdown.
Kind of inadvertently set up Ruler in a position to carry, right? Gave over the early shutdown, not this time.
Yeah, onto Chovy, Perfect here. Pathmaker will find Chovy, and he doesn't get a chance to move. KT once again kill off the enemy mid.
And Gen G are looking at yet another semi-final of despair.
Battered and bruised. They'll have one more game to try and get themselves back off the mat, but for now, KT take total control of game 3. Keen will get a tower down towards that bottom side, 22.5 minutes in. BDD will get KT's 3rd of the game. The Petals relatively close, even though KT picked up the outcome, but they have feats. They have more than 1,000 gold lead in 3 of their lanes. They turn their eyes towards the Drake Soul for them. Canyon a long way away, has that Grand Starfall. Keen going to try and flank across here. Could use the world ender. Starfall in from Canyon. Looks for the steal, but immediately he's yeeted. The keeper's verdict finds him guilty, and Emperor's Divide knocks the world ender into the middle. The shockwave finds KT, but Duro dives in, and the rest of Genji just can't follow him. KT claim the soul, they claim the kills, and they claim Genji's lives.
KT is just running through the fight. Trophy's in trouble. BDD's going.
BDD can still chase him in. He's the only one left alive. Chovy stands alone as KT clean up the fight.
And that is a 5-for-1 soul for KT. The shockwave doesn't matter.
Because the timing was perfect. Canyon ults in, immediately knocked out. And then BDD on the side catching Keen, knocking him into the stun of Cuz. They're looking like Shaq and Kobe out there. BDD and Cuz are just on it right now.
Genji. No inhibitor towers did fall after that Chemtech Soul fight. But KT, they're 9,000 gold ahead. 3 items on BDD. The Liandry's complete. For Dokdam, he has a Peter in his pocket to help buff up those autos. Duro and Canyon and Chovy still looking for the flanks. BDD might face check into it. Enchanted Crystal coming out, but BDD uses the soldiers to check for him. His bodyguards as he forces Chovy away. Canyon falls. Duro likely to follow suit soon. Chovy teleports out and dies anyway.
He gets taken down. It's another kill, and it's going to be the Baron here for KT. BDD will not get caught sleeping. Sniffs out the attempted play from Genji, goes straight at him, and comes out on top.
It's a victory lap for the roller coaster. Get in now, you get an extra ride for free. As KT take their Baron.
The Cinderella story for KT, the rebellion of the underdog. I think a lot of people looked at this series and said the only way KT even have a chance. 2 minutes left on this Baron buff as KT take the inhib tower. In the mid lane, Perfect will shepherd in the next wave. The inhibitor falls for KT, and now they move across towards mid.
KT trying to put the finishing touches here. Genji has to decide when will they make their final stand. It's still a minute and a half left on this Baron. It's not as though it's about to expire. They've already lost 2 inhibs here. They don't have that bot wave moving for them, but they just want to play through 2 waves. Have these 2 waves synced up and start to really put pressure on the Nexus towers.
Chovy and Genji trying to defend the solar player. BDD slides away from it. You can't catch me. Starfall in, but Canyon's locked up. The keeper's verdict knocks back 1. Cuz goes in for the chase, but can't quite find the damage on the Canyon. But here comes Dokdam for the rest of it. Keen with the whole world on his shoulders as he pops the world ender. But he's stunned up, locked up, and taken out by KT. Another name on the list for KT. They take their destiny into their own hands as they go 1 game away from finals.
Into Casio is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, that is a nightmare for sure, but I feel like it's easier for Genji to play that kind of like poke and prod, the disengage game, because you have Anivia, you have the side lane that should have, Keen with the advantage on the Yorick.
So coming across though, the KT bot lane is the first to move. Perfect hits level 6, does have the teleport if the call of the Forge Gods needed. Cuz and KT should be able to secure the first Drake. BDD looks for the petrifying gaze. Canyon. Ishtar's impacts away from it and take him down before that effective HP comes back. It's easy enough to kill off the Mundo. Grub started by Genji. Chovy the first to move from mid. BDD forced back underneath his tower. Cuz trying to make his way in here, but with the concussive blows about to proc, I think he might back away. Puts the Q back into Genji. The first Grub's gonna go. As Peter begins to step up, BDD still looking for the flank. There's the second Grub as they pull it in with a hostile takeover, even by the Unbreakable. BDD with a great petrifying gaze, finds 3. Juro chased away here, has to flash. Ruler doing the same. Dokdam still on the chase. Chovy able to pick up BDD on the back line. The wall enough to save Ruler. Genji get out with 2 Grubs and a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Ruler barely limps out of that one. That was incredibly close to taking him down here. KT will be able to go back and grab 1 Grub. BDD walks away with first blood, but
yeah, retaking it is an absolute nightmare as Dragon gets started up. Keen just straight up walked all the way down, but there comes the teleport from Perfect.
Teleport from Perfect. They're looking for the call of Forge God here. Cuz going in, maximum dosage use. Hostile takeover. Lands onto Canyon. Cuz stepping into Duro. Cuz CC flashes away. The smite comes out from Canyon. Gen.G secure it. Call of the Forge God from Perfect as they flash forward. BDD looking for the petrifying gaze, but can't quite find it. Keen falling lower. Perfect on the chase. KT find one. But the Drake's already gone over to Gen.G. KT will look for a little bit more. Noxious Blast from BDD. The Fates call. Calls the Braum to an early grave as KT find a second.
3-1 maybe. And those are the type of vibes, the confidence that is hard to match as we go into another team fight for Herald.
Gen.G have all 5 players here immediately. TP to the mid lane from Perfect. He's a long way away. The Herald already down to 5,500 HP as Gen.G look for it. BDD on the flank. Duro flash. Winter's Bite into the Glacial Fissure. They dodge the petrifying gaze, but Duro's still caught by it. Flash hostile takeover coming out into the Fate's call. The Cuz is able to get the Herald as Keen tries to get onto that back line, but so much work here from KT. They've already found 2 in the fight, and the tides are very much in their favor. They'll chase down Canyon. KT raw to life in game 4.
The Chemtech Drake, second one, going to get picked up for KT, and that's again a good Chemtech angle with Mundo, with Renata. As this turret not long for this world.
Yeah, it is really dangerous anytime you're leaving Yorick alone, especially if he's playing Demolish. The towers just melt completely. You always have that as a backup plan here. Allow Keen to get pressure.
Can be an escape route or can be Peter. Where are you going with this? He's taking it into the terrain. Cuz caught out as Canyon looks for the flank, the wall down. Cuz trying to get on the right side of it and is able to walk away. The Riftail charging in to Gen.G, but isn't going to be able to do too much. Keen still looking for that flank from the top side as Gen.G continue to leash the Atakan.
Yeah, Gen.G trying to force KT's hand. They got some critical cooldowns there. No Mundo ult is massive, and they're getting zoned by the Anivia.
There's a hostile takeover. Duro will be looking for that Unbreakable. Chovy forced away towards the Tribush. 6,000 HP on the Atakan right now. Impale lands. Hostile takeover coming out as well. It's eaten by the Unbreakable. BDD flashing forward with the Miasma. Redemption's coming out as Dogdam dances around the fight. Keen forced to flash away. Perfect able to escape with a sliver of HP, as is Peter. Ruler now on the front line. He stares into the eyes of BDD and he's turned to stone. His tombstone litters the rift as KT win the fight at Otacon.
It's KT winning the fight, getting the Otacon, and they are going for the Dragon here as well. It's going to be KT on soul point, on match point, 8-1, and on the precipice of one of the most unlikely finalists in World's history.
On him as well. Gen.G now, without their AD carries ultimate, have to fight around the Chem Soul. KT started up, Dogdang looking to put the spears into the Dragon Face, call out the Impale only lands on the Perfect, and he doesn't really care that he's in the middle of Gen.G. He flashes out, escapes the storm of Chovy, and KT can just back away. They can look for more of a fight if they want.
Yeah, the question is, can Gen.G find something? Because I don't know if they want to play patient from here. They feel the pressure right now.
Where's the TP coming from Perfect? It's a little bit defensive. KT trying to push towards that mid lane, make sure they're not going to lose their tier 2. They just sacrificed the tier 1, but a Chem Soul, the priceless moment of the game. Will Gen.G want to take the fight? Azale thinks it's already over, and perhaps it is for KT. Gen.G stepping forward. KT still on that Baron, 5,000 on it as Canyon looks for a flank position. The Baron, the target for KT. They'll smite it. They'll secure it. Dogdam stepping forward, dashing onto Keen. The damage on the Perfect as well, but a petrifying gaze once again from BDD. He sends Gen.G home in body bags. Chovy trying to escape, and he will manage to get to the safety of his tower.
And BDD says, I am going to the World Finals. I gotta say, there's no way
and
that they don't just end from here.
You have to feel it. Shanghai feels it too. The crowd enraptured by KT. The one last ride on the roller coaster, as perhaps it's a ticket to the finals.
It keeps growing. The nerves unwinding, and the roller coaster is about to go higher than it's ever gone.
One last gasp for Gen.G, one last breath.
It's Anivia, but Perfect has been pushing mid lane, and the question is, can they clear this wave out as well?
Dark Possession coming down, will catch on to Peter, who falls below half HP. Perfect the same, the Redemption outface cool, used to pull Peter out of harm's way. But because of that, Gen.G know one of the engage tools for KT is down.
Your base, right? And this Elder is coming up here under 2 minutes now. Gen.G
Mega Blast going on to
have got to try to find something.
They're looking for it. Perfect. There's Canyon comes in, Ishtal's impact for the CC. Perfect's going to try and walk his way out of this one, but even with a Bellows Breath, even with a double knockup, Perfect cannot survive. His KDA goes from Perfect to Imp as he goes 2-1-6.
Turning here in favor of KT.
And if Keen over pushes, you can see BDD and Cuz are moving up. I think Keen is going to die, and
Chase
this
is
timing might matter.
BDD going in, Dark Possession being used. BDD needs to auto that down because has the flank position on towards this Yorick. Keen has no flash, no hope.
They're delaying
no
it.
life left. They'll delay it because in 55 seconds, the Elder will spawn. Cuz can chase him down with the Bone Saw as Keen has no one here to help him. BDD in the end will claim the kill with Twin Fangs and with hope of an Elder to win the game.
Alt now. Chovy just controlling that space beautifully. Gen G have a chance here. They're trying to buy time for the Orin to TP back.
It's a last stand here from Gen G, desperately trying not to give it over, but there we go, Orin's back. His cooldown still available.
Trophy on the flank, Blast Cone down, Cuz cleansed away with them. Mikhail's Canyon in the pit, Cuz has to flash. As they look for the engage, Canyon going in, Cuz in the middle of the pit as well. The redemption coming out from Gen G. Cuz trying to get out of that Dark Possession. The Morning Mist landing on towards the backline. The Elder down to 7,000. Good stun coming out. The corner of the port got Juro blocks. The Glacial Fisher out as well. The Elder secured as KT. They get it and Dog Dab. It's flashing forward. Ruler rules no longer. KT clean up the fight. And now march down mid. KT. All the years, all the tears, all the fears forgotten. It is one step closer to the promised land as we see no defense available for Gen G. KT are going to finals!
That's the call, just go for lane dominance in this bottom side. Make sure Jackie Love and Hung can fight toe-to-toe against the T1 bot lane and try and snowball into effective dragon control and objective team fights.
Fine in this situation, he just has to be cautious at the threat of a dive, but Mordekaiser, not the easiest champ in the world to dive, no level 6 yet for 369.
Kanavi was spotted though on the ward and everyone's moving back up towards his top side.
All right, they're moving around trying to see if maybe they can set it up, but they have to know if 369 was close to level 6, so was Doran, and trying to dive Mordekaiser underneath the turret with the ulti is never going to work.
Now T1 are punishing the early pathing from Kanavi. Remember that because he had to skip his bot side camps to try and steal, he's now late to these Raptors. Keria is here with Ona and Kanavi has no idea.
Yeah, Keria jumps forward, however the grand entrance does not hit Kanavi. Owner still continuing to try to contest here for this Raptor camp, does secure the large Raptor, but now over the wall, it's Cream ready to go in. He wants the kill and Owner's the focus. Cream goes forward, but he cannot find enough damage just yet. It's Kanavi grabbing first blood here for Top Esports. Up towards these Void Grubs, and because Doran's teleport timer is pretty desynced from 369, there's still half the cooldown remaining on that teleport. The Mordekaiser is steadfastly down there in the bottom lane, and Top Esports have already taken the first grub.
But now, Top Esports, they can have 369 TP to bottom lane if they want. He's going to go back to base. They did sacrifice a wave, and Doran will secure a plate. But ultimately now, Jackie Love and Hung can go and match up against the bot lane 2 versus 2. Akali can return to mid, and just a beautiful sequence of play there from Top Esports side River. Fantastic vision control means they will be the team to start this objective off, and Top Esports don't really have much room to fight this as of right now.
Yeah, you can see piercing arrow, plenty of damage from that Varus here onto the neutral objective. It is secured by Owner and T1 as Hong wants to step forward. Keria with a battle dance to disengage from the tether, flash away or face certain doom.
And right as Rift Herald spawns as well, so Owner immediately books it over towards the objective to start that one up. And look at the map. Top Esports not in a position to contest here again.
I feel like this is a pretty rare situation where we've seen all 3 of the first neutral objectives in the game go utterly uncontested. The Void Grubs earned by Top Esports because of their smart macro play, then T1 getting the Drake for free off the recall from Kanavi.
Doran remove in these fights to turn it into a 4v4 for T1. But now we're back in the action, we're back on the Dragon, and given the positioning, Top Esports, it's not easy for them to contest.
Ignore the bottom of your screens. Kanavi does not have his ultimate up and available. It is still a little bit away, which is why Top Esports there didn't really want to try and contest.
Cream still does not have his. The perfect execution is back off of cooldown, but Cream's flash obviously still a long way away here as well. Carrier loses half HP to a quick burst from Kanavi, but now Owner's ready to lead the charge here with a Crescent Guard. Kanavi, Jackie Love, and Hong all backing away from this one as T1 gets the better side of the trade.
So Top Esports tried to punish the positioning of Carrier, but it's they who is punished on the other side, and now T1 want to secure the first tower of the game.
They're going to try to put enough damage into this, but again, they don't have any Void Grubs whatsoever, so they can't just force it down with a couple of autos.
They forced Top Esports out of River though, and Dragon is available, and that was really what they wanted. So now Top Esports going to have to try and break into this, but it looks like it's gone.
Yeah, T1 just going to go ahead and secure themselves Soul Point on a Cloud Soul Rift. Another uncontested neutral objective.
They turn around damage from Owner, setting up them for the push, and this is kind of the why some of these picks are so strong from the comfort. Like Owner loves playing the Xin Zhao because he knows how hyper aggressive he can go, burning that ultimate just to force Top Esports back. Gumayusi on this Varus has been such a staple for T1, and now en masse they group mid, and 369's overextended.
Yeah, 369 trying to jump in there as the turret falls. Owner, audacious charge right in after him, finds a little bit of damage. Jackie Love also at about 60% HP here. So yeah, they get the summoner spell, but that's all they're going to take for now. Kanavi's the only one continuing to tank the Otacon because they do not want the debuff on everybody else on Top Esports. Doran making his way up through the river. 369 with a third in Tofo strike primed. Top Esports looking for something here. It's Doran jumped on immediately. However, he's into the death realm. He's going after Kanavi. He wants to take out the enemy jungler. Top Esports, they're trying to get him away. But as soon as the death realm ends, Carrier's quickness begins. And Top Esports have already lost their jungler. They're about to lose their top laner. 369 wants to go all out, but Gumayusi and T1 are all in. Hong trying to escape as Cream's got some fancy acrobatics, but he's not getting anything. T1 out team fight him, and they'll take the Otacon.
Kanavi is given no position, no purchase, as Doran isolates him in the death realm, and after taking out the jungler, taking out 369, T1 will turn their attention towards the Baron.
Engage is gone. Jackie Love and Hong can't actually get into the fight because they're zoned by Gumayusi and Faker, and now Faker has caught Cream.
Faker going in after this Akali that's been trying to put the pressure on him all game long, and once more, it's Cream, the one who loses his flash just to survive.
For the kill.
You just sit on top of the little Christmas light and press R as soon as it returns to a champion. Well played there from T1, now over 2,000 gold ahead. And my friends, we have 45 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns. Hong in some danger here, has to flash away. Carrier ready to go after him again with the quickness. Feat of Warfare finally claimed at 27 minutes by T1. And they are just barreling down the bottom lane. Gumayusi gonna get healed up by Redemption, but no! Cream's already got the assassination. He dies in response as Kanavi continues spinning forward, looking for a little bit more. The ricochets from Jackie Love. He needs more, but he can't find it. A double kill to Faker as Owner finishes Jackie. Soul spawns.
Top Esports threw the Hail Mary, and it was so close to looking good, but intercepted at the last second. And now it's T1 with members on the map that will secure the Cloud Soul, although there's a little bit of a spot here.
Yeah, looks like Hong might have made a mistake stepping forward to try to help his top laner. Doran brings Hong into the Death Realm instead. He will not be able to catch back up to the Karma to guarantee the kill, but now it's Faker joining up with his top laner for the extra damage into 369. The Cassante tries to get away, and he outpaces the Claw to do so, but the entire time it was Owner on the Drake. There's your MasterCard priceless moment.
It got a little scary for T1 on the bot side of the map. It felt like that Jackie Love had really woken up in this game, but Kanavi once again isolated. Shockwave!
Shockwave from Faker to burst down the enemy jungler. Kanavi has never found his angles in this game after that first blood. Cream of the Wall wants something. They'll give him a burial. Gumayusi with the kill. 9-3 for T1. Everything Top Esports tried early was completely canceled, and T1 is showing them how to make plays now. 369 just trying to escape some of the damage. He's the only one alive for a game that had one kill at 24 minutes. T1 are about to end it 30 minutes in. Respawns are not even here. 369's the only one left, and they want to try to grab the ace on the way out. T1, it was a slow burn, but it's Top Esports being put to the fire. T1 just going to pad the stats and take game one.
This Kai'Sa for Gumayusi is such a meaningful pick because of the history he has on the champion. The last performance we saw on him, he absolutely popped off and earned redemption.
Gumayusi and Keria are both injured, however. We'll see if they want to keep looking for a little bit more, because Faker is also here with a hero's entrance. The Jarvan Galio Wombo combo could be exactly what T1 wants. There are no teleports ready on the Top Esports side to try to reinforce this. Hong's going to be in some danger. Hero's entrance is first blood over to Faker, and it's 2-0 T1.
Clean execution from T1 as they shut down the bottom lane. No room for escape whatsoever. Kanavi spotted that entire time on the Dragon. Position Or very much wants to do the same thing, and I feel like the Top Esports are kind of forced to just hit the target that's in front of them, but there will be many targets in front of them, and they will be coming from every which way, especially with a Camille and a Kai'Sa at their back looking to navigate their way through whatever angle they have available to them.
Well, the angle for Top Esports right now is neutral objectives. They did get the first Drake after the play made from T1 earlier there underneath that Tier 1 turret topside, and now
The latter half of the World Championship. It's so easy for him to walk into a lane, throw that ultimate down as Jackie Love looks for a fight against Faker.
I love that from Jackie. He goes in for the Valkyrie to block the Justice Punch from Faker. Now Faker's trying to get away here on the Galio, shielded Duran for a little bit of extra durability, but no! Jackie Love gets his shot. Lane 369 and Doran continues scrapping as we continue to see 369 coming out on top. Trinity Force completed for Jackie Love means a massive point of power there for the Corki, but it doesn't look like he's arriving to Drake here in time just yet. Keria wants to get away. Nice use of the pillar there. Takes Keria low, and now Owner has to flash out. Flash bubble attempt. Not going to get anything back there from Hong. He misses that as Gumayusi now has to flash away too. It's a ton of damage coming in as Keria is already dead. Jackie Love killed in response. It's Fetal Warfare claimed by T1, but Doran's got to try to continue getting away. 369 looking for an angle, possibly. He goes to the public execution. 369! Damn, that's fine. He finds Gumayusi at the very edge of the fight.
369, flashless, no ultimates, keeping this wave out from the tower.
Yeah, he wants to stop the minions from arriving, but Keria's got the Pop Blossom, and it's a dog pile top lane. Vengeance for Gumayusi as T1 takes out the Ambessa.
The consequence of all of this, though, is that Doran has been left isolated in the top lane. He will secure the first tower, and it looks to be the feats of strength as well for T1.
There it is, yep, exactly right before the Tier 1 turret could have faced its own potential doom on the T1 side. I'm always impressed when a team that loses all three Void Grubs still manages to secure the first turret of the game for themselves. This is a 14-minute feats of strength versus the 28 minutes from last game as Owner goes in for the Cataclysm onto Jackie Love. Doran now ready with a Hextech ultimatum, and here's the hero's entrance. Jackie Love first to die as Doran's got to try to find his way back out. Owner jumps in with the EQ combo, but Kanavi's ready to take a bite out of him. The Troll King leads the charge as Doran gets a nice Hextech sweep for a little bit more HP. T1's not done yet as Keria still looking maybe for a root here, but T1 are just going to take their kill, disengage, as now it is the turret dying in the top side on the T1 side.
Then we have to go back to live because the Herald is going to be secured, and the pace of this game is very different from game one.
Yeah, I think T1 actually sticking around there, getting that poke on from Cream.
Here we go, Rift Herald sum it up. It's Jackie Love ready to drive it straight into the Tier 1 turret. Honestly, they don't even really need it, but it will still lose most of the HP. Shouldn't be able to get a second charge. No, it will not. Stacking towards a Seraph's next. Stacking towards that Muramana with the Manamune already fully completed. There for Jackie Love. As the third Drake of the game has spawned, it is an Ocean. We're on Ocean Rift this time, but a TP is coming in from T1. Top Esports committing to the objective. Gumayusi's on the flank, but he's got to be a little bit careful. 369 wants to mark him. Keria goes in with a bad pop blossom, but Jackie Love is already down. Top Esports have lost their marksman. Doran, he's the only one low, but it won't matter. Realm Warp, it gets Top Esports away to safety. Gumayusi still after Hong, so it's objective over to T1.
So difficult to really get value from them now. Top Esports looking to overload the bot lane to make something happen for them.
Oh yeah, there's no way for T1 to try to defend this one. 3 grubs and 4 players from top is more than enough. Down here in the bottom lane, and it still has a lot of health.
Top Esports knows something is up. They cannot find Owner, and they know that's an issue, but it misses on the ult.
They wanted the public execution. They can't get Gumayushi. 3-man pop blossom from Keria, and Jackie Love's dead again. This time, his friends might just go with him. Gumayushi needs a little bit more as Kanavi chases forward onto Doran. The Trundle needs the kill, but he dies to the Cataclysm. Cream locked up by Faker. It's a Justice punch to the jaw, and Gumayushi knocks him out. Triple kill for the Kaisa as Hong's a fish out of water, and T1 get an ace for 2.
Top Esports try desperately to catch anyone on the side of T1. The target is Jackie Love. He trades his life to take out the AD carry, and then it's cleanup for T1.
It does not feel like LPL's day.
Difference is just the blood of Top Esports being poured off the side of the graph.
Doran has found Cream.
Wants to go after this Rise. TP coming in from the side of Top Esports. T1 ready to respond with one of their own. Doran down to half HP. Owner wants a little bit more. The teleport is a little bit late to arrive from Faker, but it's still just in time. T1 send more men, and they get the double kill because of it.
It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as Faker's Onyas.
Faker walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction time. Top Esports wanted to find their moment. Keria is wrapping around from the side. He wants to cut off the escape. Pop Blossom on 2. Doran chasing after Hong as Jackie Love is dead again. And Doran cuts the enemy support down. Only Kanavi is alive to tell the tale. And T1's got a 5,000 gold lead.
Images of 2023 and Faker on this Galio must be in the heads of 369 and Kanavi, because they attack the side lane, they get caught. They attack the jungle, they get caught.
Dagda, because Vedius, you mentioned back at the draft when we saw the Kaisa locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. Jackie Love going after Gumayushi, who sidesteps the public execution and kills Jackie anyway. 369 wants the damage, and Guma's finally going to be shut down. But Top Esports lose their top laner. Now Owner's putting the pressure under Cream and Hong, making more space as Faker lets blow the winds of war, and they will blow down Top Esports. Nobody's left alive. They might have got Gumayushi, but it cost them everything.
That killer instinct from Gumayushi was insane. He uses the Kaisa ult to dodge the Ambessa and find the fight that will net T1 the Baron.
Simply magnificent team fighting from T1 to dish out as much damage as possible to help T1 win the fight.
Yeah, the question marks on Gumayushi's Kaisa.
Jackie Love, even though he's got a 275 scoreline, he's 3 levels behind Gumayushi, still does not hesitate to press W towards T1. He knows that they will not turn this game around idly by.
Owner over the wall, immediately goes into the Cataclysm. Jackie Love under pressure as Gumayushi pops the Seeker, staying alive for now, needs a little bit more damage. Keria swoops in behind him. Gumayushi's still alive. Top Esports is not. It's T1 with a full send.
T1 crashes down on Top Esports, and it will be the base that will be next to fall.
Game number 2 will end even more quickly than game number 1. They average nearly 1 kill per minute in this second matchup as 369 will get one back at the very, very end. But he dies on the steps to his own base. T1, match point.
For Top Esports, they went back towards Comfort once before. It didn't work out. But can Jackie Love's Draven, his signature pick, take them across at least one game?
Oh, he absolutely was, and he really has been the heart of T1 throughout this year. That's why at this World Championship so much praise has been recognized and given to so many of the other members because of how much they've stepped up. But so much of this year's accomplishments by T1 have largely been driven by Owner, who so far in this series has been spectacular.
Doran now could be the target, knocked up into the air by 369 Kanavi. He has the river to try to lock him down. Decimating smash won't matter. It's first blood to Kanavi and Top Esports.
Great patience from Kanavi, waiting for the flash from Doran.
Doesn't really have the mana to try to punish him. Faker needs to flash away there as Cream goes between worlds, hits level 6, wants to immediately drop that ulti to get the flash out of Faker. Now up in the top side, Ornhorn coming in. Doran's gonna get dove, he tries to pop pop the shield. He'll die, but 369 will fall too. It's a 1-for-1 here in the top lane.
First objective of the game, and T1 is looking to secure it.
Yeah, just the trade with Top Esports being in a better position on the top side of the map. T1 happy to look for this, and they should be able to continue what has been basically the dragon stacking for them all series long, and enabling the ability to try and play for these team fights later as the game goes on.
Making sure he takes this trade as long as he can take it, since there's nothing 369 can do in retaliation. Cream wants Faker. Kanavi goes in. Kanavi takes a lot of damage from the turret, but he gets his man. Now Owner tries to get the follow-up kill, and he flashes for the point-blank Q, so the Kanavi cannot escape. It's a 1-for-1. One to keep this series alive for Top Esports, who are now again looking for a dive, this time onto Gumayushi. Hong wants to try to get away from the turret, but it's a 1-for-1. Guma does enough damage to make it an even trade.
And shifting down towards his bottom side, which means that T1 get to move in towards River first.
And critically, 369's teleport now is available yet again. So Top Esports, they're going to try to commit everybody to this. Doran has already teleported into the area first, but Ornn's about to arrive into the mid lane. T1 get engaged on. Hong's ready to go in, but a hostile takeover over the top tries to keep him alive. Carrier staying up here for a little bit longer. Carrier and Faker are both very low. Faker survives. Jackie Love under pressure. Gumayushi wins the AD carry battle, and Top Esports have already lost 3 men. It's about to be 4. Carrier may have died, Faker may have died, but Top Esports are going to lose everyone. Owner and Doran bury the last one. It's an ace for T1.
Everything, but once that Renata came down, they lost everything.
We're not done though. It's a pick coming in for Top Esports. They find Carrier in the enemy jungler. They catch T1 unaware. Now Faker with a rebuttal. Hong still manages to close the distance here with the dread line, but Owner's ready to show up and offer a little bit of assistance. Cream in some danger now. There's the execution. There's the damage. There's T1. Owner and Faker get one back as Top Esports are still on the retreat. Hong now stunned up by the Pantheon. A little bit more damage from a point-blank Comet Spear, and Owner's unstoppable. Top Esports take the Herald in the meantime, but it's more kills over to T1.
Top Esports looked unsure about what they wanted to achieve.
Greedily jump over the wall and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there as now Doran coming in. Big collision on Jackie Love, and Gumayushi picks up the free payday.
No flash on the Draven means that T1 can simply run him down.
Oh no, Kanavi! What was that? He jumps into the middle of everybody, and the Comet Spear to execute him. The pressure of elimination in the semifinals is crushing Kanavi as Owner tanks up 369 for the time being. Hong with the pressure onto Guma. Cream goes between worlds, tries to jump in. Gumayushi about to die. The bailout will not save him. Top Esports, they need more now. Cream wants to get out, but the Solar Snare locks him up. Faker gets the return kill as Faker and Carrier duel with Hong and 369. A triple to the Ornn as that will be the execution through the Golden Eclipse for Faker.
T1, but we return to the Rift as they push on the top side.
Kanavi goes in, but his ultimate doesn't get a lot. Owner with the shield ready to continue the counterattack as Hong will be first to die. Faker takes the kill, and 369's their next target. Solar Snare won't hit him. Ornhorn maybe for the counterattack. 4-man knockup from 369, but it is not enough. T1 still over 2,000 gold ahead. Whirling Death will not find a snipe. The next Drake has spawned. Whoever secures this objective will secure the feats of strength. T1 first to the area, control over the bot side River, trying to defend their control ward. Jackie Love has the axes spinning, ready to step up, try to clear the vision. Cream pincering around, looking to try to cut off T1, come in behind him. Top Esports backing away now on the main front. Cream shows himself, ready to try to enter into the fight now, but a lot of lockdown. Nobody finds the first kill. Kanavi is dead. Cream's next to follow. Top Esports jungler is caught again, and now everyone else has to run. Jackie Love with the flash over the wall just to try to survive. Hong is running. T1, they want more kills. 369 and Jackie get enough distance to get away, but T1 have claimed the feats, claimed the Drake, claimed the tier 1 turret. Otacon's live on the map, and T1's got a 4,000 gold lead at Soul Point. Made it to the semifinals since 2020. It's been 5 years for Top Esports getting back to this point. They've never made it to the finals, and T1 wants to keep it that way. Faker's the target for Top as he tries to get the root to buy himself a little bit more time, but Faker is shut down. Cream's the target now for T1. Flashes over the wall, but Owner's ready to flash follow. Cream dies, mid for mid. Gumayushi with a flash forward, and he's putting arrows into Jackie Love's back. Jackie gets away with a Kimtech blast cone, but the rest of the arrows continue to focus fire. One more volley takes them out, and Gumayushi gets it done.
T1 will not let Top Esports rest. It has been so many years that they've continued to find picks and plays.
And Kanavi again just picking the wrong moments. He goes in, he survives for now, but it costs Hong's life this time instead. T1, 4,000 gold lead still, soul point still.
For a series that has been from him, as the early game was going the way of Kanavi, but the rest of it has gone the way of Owner.
12 years T1 have beaten the LPL in best of fives at Worlds. 5 years Top Esports not making it to finals.
Kanavi on the flank. He's got to find some sort of a major redemption play. He finds a root onto Keria and nothing more. Now he's marked. Kanavi trying to do something on the side, but it's Hong here on the front line that's taking most of the burst. Owner still in the middle of everybody. The redemption coming in to save him, and the bailout does just that. Cream at least gets one. Hong at 200. Jackie Love trying to fight, but the decimating smash guarantees that he can't. Gumayushi knocked down as we've got a 3-for-2 favoring T1. Faker's not even been in the fight though, and Mel is ready to make her arrival. Cream, the only damage really left for the side of Top Esports. Faker pops the rebuttal, and Keria is still alive. Solar Snare locks up the Ornn, and 3-6-9. The countdown's about to hit 0. They're just waiting, trying to stall this out as long as they can. Make sure that he's not alive at all for the Dragon Soul.
To find some way to structure the fights, but T1 are not letting them find their footing. And now Jackie Love up in topside, threatening a Baron, but I think T1 happy to take that fight if it comes to us.
T1 pushing their way into the top side river. Dagda, you mentioned early that lifetime record of T1 against the LPL at Worlds. Jackie Love forced to flash over the wall. Doran flashing after. Here comes the Comet Spear ready to fly over the top of the decimating smash, but Redemption keeps Jackie alive. Maybe the kill from Kanavi, but no. At least Faker should die here through the bailout, so Cream's going to get the credit on that one. But T1 aren't done. Cream goes between worlds. 3-6-9 with a two-man knockup. Top Esports, they found Gumayushi, but they have to trade Cream. Jackie's still alive for a little bit more damage as Keria, Owner, and Doran want some more. Hong gets almost caught by the hostile takeover, but it's 3-6-9 focused instead. T1, their carries might be down, but they still find another kill. Doran goes on a rampage, and the 3 remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2.
3-6-9 survives for so long.
The only play-ins game at Worlds 2025. They eliminated AL in the quarters. They're about to eliminate Top Esports here in the semifinals. Kanavi takes the arrow, and there's no way he's getting away from that one. The Baron secured by T1. There's no neutral objectives to care about on the map right now.
Quarterfinals, semifinals, it does not matter. T1 only see victory.
T1 with the Baron pushing into the enemy base now. Doran happy to tank the turret. T1 continuing their push straight through that mid lane inhibitor. Sidewaves not really set up for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just going to keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hong goes with them. The focus fire into 3-6-9 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive. But nobody on Top Esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King. Faker and T1 have set the stage for the World Finals telecom.